I want to start by addressing a reality for most PC gamers. I know exactly what your Steam library looks like right now. I have a massive backlog of unplayed games sitting in my own account. I buy games during every seasonal event, I install them on my hard drive, and I never actually open them. We all do this, and usually I tell myself to stop buying new things until I finish what I already have. I try to be very strict about my gaming budget, but today is entirely different. Today, buying new games is a remarkably good thing. I've partnered with GamesAid for this year's Steam sale. When you purchase the 10 games I am about to show you, the money goes straight to helping disadvantaged children and young people across the UK. I spent the last few weeks looking into the exact work these funds support, and I am genuinely so excited to share this initiative with you all. I believe the cozy gaming community is the most supportive space on the entire internet. I see how you all encourage each other in the comments every day, and I want us to prove that generosity by supporting this cause. Let me explain exactly where your money goes when you participate in this sale. GamesAid is an umbrella charity operating within the UK video games industry. They collect funds from gamers and developers, and they then distribute those funds to smaller, specialised charities that do critical daily work. I'm going to put some footage on the screen right now so you can see the direct impact these 4 organisations have. First is Solving Kids Cancer UK. They strive for better outcomes for children and families affected by childhood cancer. They place a particular focus on researching and treating a rare cancer called neuroblastoma. I read through some of the family stories on their website recently. The direct support they provide during such an incredibly difficult, exhausting time is absolutely vital for these families. Second, we are supporting Rays of Sunshine. This charity works to brighten the lives of seriously ill children all across the United Kingdom. They grant wishes for kids and provide essential, ongoing support inside hospitals. You can see in the footage on screen right now how much joy their staff and volunteers bring to children who are undergoing intense, long-term medical treatments. I think providing a moment of happiness in a hospital ward is incredibly valuable work. Third is Autistica. They fund and campaign for autism research. Their primary goal is to improve the clinical understanding of mental health, physical health, and language in autism. I strongly believe that better, more rigorous research leads directly to better daily support systems for autistic individuals. Funding that research is necessary to create environments where autistic young people can thrive. The fourth charity is AFK. They work to remove social barriers for disabled people. They do this practically by providing mobility equipment and education support. They also help young disabled people secure active work placements. I learned that getting the right customized mobility equipment can completely change a young person's daily independence. It allows them to navigate their schools and communities autonomously. I want to raise a massive amount of money for these 4 organisations. I'm setting a huge goal for our community, and I need your help to reach it. Here is my 3-part plan for how we can support them right now. Number 1, buy the games. I put a specific Steam sale link in the video description below. When you buy these 10 specific games through that link, you directly fund GamesAid. I spent hours curating this list. I chose the games that I actively play and genuinely love, so you are getting fantastic, high-quality titles for your library while donating to a great cause. Number 2, use a direct donation link. I know many of you have played cozy games for years. I assume you might already own the most popular titles on this list. If you already have the games I featured today, please click the direct donation link below instead. I ask that you take that $5 or $10 you would have spent on a new game and send it straight to the charities. Number 3, come to my live streams. I am hosting a massive charity live stream right here on the channel on Tuesday, March 3rd and Saturday, March 7th. Mark your calendars right now. I have giveaways planned and I'm going to play through some of these sale games live with you. Come hang out in the chat, interact with the community, and help me increase our donation total. Let's start the list with number 10, Botany Manor. This is a puzzle game set inside a historic English manor. You play as a botanist, and your main objective is to explore the rooms and gardens to figure out the specific conditions required to grow rare, unusual plants. I find the entire process very relaxing. The game places clues scattered around the house. You have to read old letters, inspect botanical posters, and examine machinery. You use the information from those items to determine the exact soil composition light exposure, and temperature each specific seed needs to grow. It requires logical thinking and observation, the environment is completely peaceful, there are no timers and no enemies, and buying Botany Manor through the sale link directly funds the GamesAid's charities I explained in the introduction. Moving to number 9, we have Let's Build a Zoo. This is a detailed management simulation game. You are responsible for designing the layout of your zoo, hiring the staff, and handling the daily finances. The distinct feature here is the DNA splicing mechanic. You have the ability to combine the DNA of 2 different animals. This creates completely new, unusual creatures for your animal enclosures. I spent a long time combining pigs and snakes to see the exact animal the game would generate. It requires you to balance the appeal of these new animals with the basic needs of your park guests. You have to place food stalls, manage ticket prices, and keep the pathways clean. If you like simulation games with complex management systems, I recommend adding this to your cart during the charity event. Your purchase goes straight to helping the 4 organizations we talked about. Number 8 on the list is Smushi Come Home. In this game, you control a small mushroom character. The mushroom is lost in the forest and is trying to find the way back home. The gameplay focuses on exploration and completing light puzzles. I really enjoy the visual scale of the environment. Because your character is a small mushroom, you view the forest from the ground level. Standard objects like leaves, pebbles, and twigs are large platforms you have to climb over. You can also use a leaf to glide across gaps. During your journey, you talk to different forest animals, you help them with small simple tasks, and they give you directions in return. The platforming is very forgiving. Grabbing this game today gives you a low-stress exploration game and simultaneously supports the GamesAid mission. For number 7, I chose A Highland Song. This is a narrative adventure game located in the Scottish Highlands. The developers incorporated rhythm and platforming events directly into the exploration. You control a young woman running and climbing across the mountains. When you run down hills, the movement syncs up with the background music. The soundtrack features actual Scottish folk music and the audio quality is excellent. You have to press buttons in time with the music to keep your character moving quickly and efficiently. The landscape features multiple routes, and you choose different paths to reach the sea. The weather also changes dynamically while you travel. I appreciate the specific combination of narrative focus and rhythm mechanics, and remember, purchasing a Highland Song from this top 10 list through the link below provides direct funding for the children and young adults we are helping today. Before we move into the second half of the list, I want to pause and briefly remind everyone why we are participating in this specific Steam sale. When you buy these games through the link in the video description, the money directly funds the 4 GamesAid charities I detailed at the start of the video. Your purchases provide mobility equipment for disabled individuals, hospital support for seriously ill children, and vital funding for cancer and autism research. I appreciate every single person who has clicked the link or used the direct donation button so far. Let's continue the list with number 6, Critter Café. In this game, you explore surrounding environments to rescue magical critters. Once you successfully find them, you bring them back to your own personal cafe. I really like the strict balance between the 2 main gameplay mechanics. Half of your time goes into creature collection and the other half goes into business management. You get to completely customize the layout on the furniture inside the cafe. You manually place tables, chairs, and decorations to make the physical space comfortable for your customers and your rescued critters. During the business day, you serve coffee and cake to the townspeople. You assign your critters to different areas of the cafe so they can interact with the guests. I spend most of my time organizing the cafe interior. Buying Critter Café during this event adds a highly customizable management game to your library while supporting the charities. Moving to number 5, we have Tiny Witch. You play as a small witch operating a magical minion store. Customers walk up to the front counter and request specific minions. You have to gather resources, process them at different workstations, and assemble the requested minions before the customer loses patience and leaves the shop. It is a strict time management game. I find the daily gameplay to be slightly chaotic in a very fun way. You have to optimize your movement paths behind the counter to complete orders efficiently. You start by pounding ingredients, and then you transfer those items into a summoning circle to create the minion. The developers use adorable pixel art for the graphics, and the visual design of the different monsters is incredibly charming. I highly recommend picking this one up through the charity link in the description. For number 4, I chose Lonesome Village. You play as a coyote named Wes, and your main objective is to save a local town from a large magical tower. The developers completely removed combat from the game, Instead, they combined life simulation mechanics with environmental puzzle solving. You progress through the different floors of the magical tower by completing logic puzzles. Every time you solve a puzzle room, you rescue a trapped villager. That villager then moves back into the main town. Outside the tower, you help those villagers rebuild their homes. You gather raw resources, farm crops in your garden, and fish in the local river. I enjoy the exact pacing of this game. You can switch directly from solving a difficult sequence in the tower to planting vegetables. I definitely think you should add Lonesome Village to your Steam cart today to support the GamesAid fund. And now we move into the top 3 games on the list. Number 3 is Research Story. This is a life simulation game where you play as an active researcher in a new town. Your primary goal is to observe and record exotic plants and creatures in the environment. You literally build and expand your farm around your scientific research. I think this provides a very different approach to the standard farming gameplay loop. You spend your early hours taking notes on the local wildlife, logging their specific behaviours, and learning their dietary needs before you figure out how to integrate them into your daily farm life. You also gather samples from plants to understand their growth cycles. The pixel art graphics are incredibly charming, and the progression system feels very rewarding. Purchasing Research Story today is an excellent way to support GamesAid. Number 2 is Spirittea. In this game, you manage a large traditional bathhouse specifically for spirits. The gameplay combines the town management aspects of Stardew Valley with the visual and thematic elements of the movie Spirited Away. Your daily routine involves walking around the town, finding lost spirits causing mischief, and figuring out their specific problems. Once you help them, they become paying customers at your bathhouse. Organising the baths is incredibly addictive. You have to seat different spirits next to each other based on their specific seasonal and elemental preferences. If you seat opposing elements together, the spirits become angry and leave. You also have to chop wood to keep the water boiler hot, sweep the floors, and manually wash and dry the towels for the guests. It requires a lot of active management, and I highly recommend picking it up during this charity sale. My number 1 pick for this entire charity event is Everafter Falls. This is a farming simulation game designed with zero stress and amazing quality of life features. From the very beginning, you get a pet that actively helps you farm. Your pet can dig holes, water your crops, and learn new skills to automate your daily chores. The developers also removed the usual penalties found in this genre. You do not lose your items or your money when your character passes out from exhaustion at the end of the day. You simply wake up in your bed the next morning with all your inventory intact. The gameplay perfectly balances cozy farming mechanics with active dungeon crawling. You can spend the morning decorating your house, planting seeds, and talking to the animal villagers, and then spend the afternoon exploring the caves for resources. I consider this an absolute must-buy game, and getting it through the GamesAid Steam sale link means you add an excellent relaxing game to your library while directly funding children and young adults who need assistance. That concludes the top 10 list for this year. I want to sincerely thank you for watching today and for actively supporting this cause. Please check the Steam sale link in the video description below to purchase these exact games. Every sale sends money directly to Solving Kids Cancer UK, Rays of Sunshine, Autistica, and AFK. The funds will immediately go towards medical research, hospital support programs, and mobility equipment. I know many of you are longtime fans of this genre. If you already own these masterpieces, please consider making a direct monetary donation via the second link I've provided below. Even a small donation equal to the cost of a coffee makes a tangible, measurable difference for these charities. The collective financial power of the cozy gaming community is massive, and we can fund these programs entirely through small individual contributions. And finally, do not forget my upcoming schedule. I am hosting 2 live events right here on the channel on Tuesday, March 3rd and Saturday, March 7th. I will be playing some of these exact sale games live, giving away game keys and raising more money for GamesAid. Please subscribe and turn on your notifications right now so you do not miss those streams. Thank you again for your generosity. I am incredibly proud of this community, and I'll see you in the chat on Tuesday.